Hey, what's up guys? Happy New Year's. I'm back again. It's a new year and I have a new video. It's a DIY for calibrating your Maple Chase thermostat unit. And the thing with this unit is that it runs in two AA batteries, and once those batteries die or become low in power, your unit stops heating your home in the wintertime and cooling your home in the summertime, if it's depending on the type of year the batteries fail or the units fail. This video will show you how to just recalibrate and reset everything so everything's working again. I mainly shot this video for my mother who has issues with her unit, and in the video you'll see me fixing her unit and calibrating it. You don't need to call the electrician or spend lots of money doing it or even replacing the unit. It works fine once you know how to reset it and fix it. Alright guys, enjoy the video. I'll see you guys later with more videos in 2019. So if the thermostat is not heating or cooling the house, first thing you're gonna do is put this to off, put fan to auto, take this off. The batteries might be old, so change the batteries here. Just take the batteries out. And to reset it, this is very important. There's a little black button there. You hold that down for about 15 to 30 seconds.
Batteries back in.
And then, so after that time is passed, you put the fresh batteries back in. And that comes on right away. If the batteries are low, you'll get an error there that says low battery. We do not, so these batteries are good to go. Now, the first thing you're going to do is set the time. Hold set and program down. Let go. So the time now is 8:42. So you just go up or down to change the time. So it usually goes to noon. So you could also hold it down and it skips a lot of time. So I'm going to pause the video. So after that's done, 8:44 p.m., just hit set again. That is the day of the week. So that means that 1 is Monday, 2 is Tuesday, 3 is Wednesday. Today is Sunday, so I'm going to go to 7 because Sunday's the 7th day. You can also go up or down on this. So once you get the day of the week set, that's the error for the temperature. That's always going to be 1 degree. That's fine. It's set in that. And next thing you're going to do now, this is all good to go. What you're going to do is just program for heat. If it's winter time, you program for cold. So I'm going to put the cover back on so you guys can see what I'm doing. So since it's winter, I'm going to program it for heat. Remember, fan is always in auto. Don't turn the fan on. Put it on heat, and I'm going to do a program. I'm going to set the program for the heat. So I'm just hitting set. That's all I'm hitting. So you set the time first. So this is morning. That's when the heat comes on when you wake up. So usually I set this for 6 a.m. because that's when people start waking up. Once I get the time, I hit set. I set the temperature I want it to come on to. So usually the night before is cooler, so I'm going to set this to, what, 76? 76. So I'm going to hit set once that's done. Now the daytime, when you leave to go to work, you don't want the heat to be the highest, so you want it to a little bit lower during the day. So I'm going to set this at 9 a.m. That's when everyone's out of the house. Usually the sun is up. It's starting to get warm outside, even if it is cold. I'm going to 9 a.m. I'm going to set the temperature. So I'm going to set this to 74 degrees, maybe 74 degrees. And I'm going to hit set. So evening when everyone comes home, usually you want the heat to come back on. Full force. In the wintertime, sun sets around 4, so I usually set it at 4. So that's when it starts getting colder. So I'm going to hit set. And I'm going to set it to warm up the house because it's been cooler all day. So I'm going to put it to, say, 76. Set. So nighttime is when everyone's sleeping. And you don't want it to be too hot while you're in bed. So nighttime is usually when everyone's in bed. I put this at usually 11. And I'm going to set the temperature. So I'm going to do 70. That's gonna be cold. 72. Okay, in set. And once I'm done, I'm gonna make sure program is on. Look at that arrow. It's manual mode and program mode, but we want program mode to be on. And I'm gonna just toggle the heat. It takes a while to kick on. If it doesn't kick on, what you could do is just squeeze the heat that way, and it'll click over like a car starter. And another thing you could do is in here, there's a little wheel that needs to be spinning. So you could turn this wheel. There's an arrow in there that tells you the direction it's turning into. It's to the left, so this turns this way. So you could have someone stay here and spin that whilst you're out here holding the heat down. What I do sometimes is I take that off and I just squeeze it to heat, and you hear it click over. So everything here is set. This is all good. So that's it. That's how you would program this or reset it. Yeah, one other thing, that should be on gas. I don't think that makes a difference. You can also check to see if this fuse is not blown. One time this fuse was blown, so this will be black, and that'll be that wire will be broken. It's not. That looks good. Another thing you could check is this switch. This has to be up. Sometimes someone might think there's a light switch and turn it off or whatever, but this has to be up or none of that works. So that's it. That's the last bit of thing. So I'm gonna just keep squeezing this until we hear that. You hear like a tick, 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 like sort of like an oven or a car starting. And you could also slide it back and forth to make sure that's in heat. Another thing you could do is just take that off and put your fingers in these two and just squeeze it. Remember, fan is off. Never turn that fan on because it just messes it up. All the fan, you hear that? So once you hear the click, click, you hear the you hear something from in there, like the heat come on or something. So you guys hear that click, click? Good. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just squeezing my finger on that like that. So all the fan does, you guys tend to turn the fan on. All it does is blows whatever air outside into the house. So if it's 19 degrees outside, it's blowing that cold air into the house. If it's 90 degrees outside in the summer, you want to cool the house down, it's blowing 90 degrees of hot air inside the house. So fan is a bad idea. The fan should be set to auto because you want the fan to come on only when the heat or the AC is on. So right now, you guys hear it? It's clicking. So that's just priming. It's like a car starting. That's all that is. And I'm just squeezing my finger on this direction towards the heat. In summertime, normally what I would do is squeeze it that way to the cold if it's not starting the AC. So you can squeeze it that way in the wintertime. Fan off. Never leave that fan on. And I'm squeezing it just to the heat because you want hot air to come out of there. And that's it. That's how you reset or I guess troubleshoot this when this stops working. So I'm squeezing both of these buttons at the same time, not one. You want both of these buttons pushed that way at the same time. You hear it clicking, it's starting. The temperature is actually getting a little bit warmer at 69 degrees now. And it's just gonna keep clicking, clicking, clicking like a car trying to start. So I was squeezing those two buttons for about 10 minutes. And the wheel is spinning. And the boiler or the flames in there is going, the heat is on. So it took about 10 minutes of squeezing before it's just taking to kick in like an old car starting. And once everything's starting, you just close this all back up. And that's because indeed the battery was old, because I found this old thing. This is about 6 months ago. And the battery, sometimes you might need to replace it every season, summer and winter. There's also instructions in the back of this cover if you guys ever get lost. So, and that's basically what I did. The only thing the instructions does not tell you is that you have to squeeze that to heat, those two buttons there. But once everything's running, you put a post-it note in there when you replace the battery. So today is that date. We just replaced the battery, and we're just gonna cover this back up. And remember, fan is always in auto, heat. Now if it gets too hot, just open the windows, or you could change the temperature down by hitting this button, and it'll lower the thermostat. So, you know, whatever. So once you hit that, it usually puts this into manual mode, and if you want to set it back to program, you hit that button again until that arrow's back at program. So that means program mode is like when you wake up in the morning, the heat will come on. But if it's hot at the minute or the day, just lower this down to lower the thermostat. That's all you have to do. Or you could open the windows. Do not touch any of these buttons. Do not turn the fan on, because all that's going to do is blow cold air from outside inside the house. The fan is good for like a spring day where it's like 60 degrees but it's hot in the house, or you're cooking. That's all the fan is good for. It does not heat or cool anything. And that's it, guys.